গৌরয় আমার যে সব স্থানে করিল ভ্রমণ রঙ্গে, সে সব স্থান হেরিব আমি প্রণয় ভকত সঙ্গে। সে সব স্থান হেরিব আমি।
Welcome to the virtual Parikrama of Navadvip Dham.
Welcome to the virtual Parikrama of the Navadvip Dham.
Today, we're visiting Madhyadwip.
Today we are visiting Madhyadwip.
Madhyadwip is the island of remembrance.
Madhyadwip is the island of remembrance, Smarana.
And here, there's a Lukta Tirtha where Lord Chaitanya instructed the 7 rishis.
And here is a Lukta Tirtha where Lord Chaitanya instructed the 7 rishis.
Beyond that is a Pushkar Tirtha.
Beyond that is the Pushkar Tirtha.
That is not different from Pushkar.
That is not different from Pushkar.
Rajasthan, near Pushkar Tirtha, the only temple of Lord Brahma which is allowed.
In Rajasthan, that is the only temple of Lord Brahma which was allowed.
Then beyond that, there's the Uchahata.
Beyond that, there is Uchahata.
That's non-different from the Kurukshetra.
That's not different from Kurukshetra.
There all the Adhivas gathered together and chanted Hare Krishna with their hands upraised.
There all the devas gathered together and chanted Hare Krishna with their hands upraised. Hari Bol.
That's known as Uchahata.
That's known as Uchahata.
And non-different from Naimisharanya.
That's not different from Naimisharanya.
Between the 2 rivers.
Between 2 rivers.
Then we go to the Hansavahan temple.
Then we go to the Hansavahan temple.
In this temple, the deity of Swan with Lord Shiva on the back.
In this temple, there is a deity of Lord Shiva sitting on swan.
The swan is Lord Brahma's carrier.
And swan is Lord Brahma's carrier.
And Shiva, he wanted to hear the lectures by Sukadeva Swami on Lord Chaitanya.
Shiva wanted to hear the lectures by Sukadeva Goswami on Lord Chaitanya.
But he felt his Nanda bull was going too slow.
But he felt that his carrier, Nanda bull, is going too slow.
So he asked Lord Brahma if he could borrow his humps,
So he asked Lord Brahma if he could borrow his Hamsa,
his swan.
his swan.
Lord Brahma agreed.
So Brahma agreed.
And then Lord Shiva came down to Naimisharanya on the swan.
So Lord Shiva came down to Naimisharanya on a swan.
And everybody stood up thinking it was Lord Brahma.
Everybody stood up thinking it was Lord Brahma.
Then they were surprised to see that in fact it was Lord Shiva.
Then they were surprised to see, in fact, he was Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva is so eager to hear the Gaura Bhagavat.
Lord Shiva was so eager to hear the glories of Bhagavat,
Gaura Bhagavat.
Gaur Bhagavat,
To hear the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
to hear the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya.
And he came down on the swan carrier of Lord Brahma.
That he came down to the by the swan carrier of Lord Brahma.
The Naimisharanya in Mayapur is existing near the Gomati River.
The Naimisharanya is in Mayapur, existing near the Gomati river.
All the holy dhams are existing in Mayapur.
All the holy dhams are existing in Mayapur.
Some have been revealed and some are still hidden.
Some have been revealed and some are still hidden.
I came to the Hansalahan temple some years ago,
I came to the Hamsavahan temple some years ago,
and we were coming in our bus with many clay pots of Ganges water.
and we were coming in the bus with many pots of clay pots of Ganges water.
And but the water spilled on the way to the Hansalahan temple.
But the water spilled on the way to the Hansavahan temple.
We went down and we went to Pushkar Tirtha and took some water from Pushkar and brought it to the Hansalahan.
So we went down to the Pushkar Tirtha, brought some water from the Pushkar Tirtha to the Hamsavahan.
So many people lined up to see Lord Shiva,
So there were many people lined up to see Lord Shiva,
and the system was that they would put a particular kind of flower on the back of a Hamsa.
so the system was they would put a particular kind of flower on the back of Hamsa.
And then people would make their prayer, and Lord Shiva would give their prayer, benediction,
And
the flower would pop up, fly off.
and then people would make a prayer, and Lord Shiva would give the benediction, and the flower would puff up and fall back.
But if the Lord Shiva was not favorable to them, or fall off.
But if Lord Shiva was not favorable to them, the flower would just fall off.
So they told us to drink kirtan, and I was praying that I could be successful in the kirtan and preaching.
So they told us that we were doing kirtan, and I prayed that we would be successful in preaching.
When the Pujari came out, he said, "Don't do kirtan."
But the Pujari said, don't do kirtan.
And after that, Lord Shiva was not giving any blessings.
After that, Lord Shiva was not giving any blessings.
And the Pujari came out and said, "Okay, come in."
Then the Pujari came out and he said, okay, come in.
And then we offered our water and milk to Lord Shiva.
Then we offered our water, milk to Lord Shiva,
And then the flower started popping up.
and the flower started puffing up.
And then the Pujari was very happy. "Oh, thank you very much."
Then the Pujari was very happy and he was saying it's very good.
Then by the bank of the Ganges,
Then by the bank of the Ganges,
anciently there were 5 rivers that would meet together there.
anciently there were 5 rivers that would meet together there.
That's called Panchadeni.
That's called Panchaveni.
So there, even the Devas, they come from a Sargaloka.
So there, even the Devas come from Swargaloka.
They in the holy confluence
They would bathe in the holy confluence
on the 5 rivers.
of the 5 rivers.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I hope you have a very happy time today
I hope you have very happy time today
on Parikrama.
on Parikrama.
Now in another island called
Madhyadwip.
Madhyadwip. And who is a devotee who perfected his life in this?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee. And by what time Prahlad Maharaj is described as Bhagwan. So what is the bhakti of Prahlad Maharaj? The bhakti of Prahlad Maharaj, he is such a fortunate person that right in the womb of his mother, his spiritual master started training him right in the womb. When Prahlad came out, he is already a perfected devotee, fully fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and his devotional service, Krishna consciousness was so much so that it is unshakable. So unshakable that his devotion tormented Hiranyakasipu, who is tormenting the whole world. A small boy. Really happy to have this opportunity to share this person with all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome back to Navadvip Dham Parikrama. Today we have joining us His Holiness Bhakti Vigvanasana Nrsimha Maharaj, a very senior devotee in our movement, Paribrajak Acharya Sannasi, disciple of Srila Prabhupada. We're very fortunate to have Maharaj with us today. And so today we're off to the island of Madhyadwip. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We've arrived in Madhyadwip, and our first place of visiting is the holy Pushka Tirtha. Let's take some water from Pushka Tirtha on our heads, Maharaj, and then Maharaj will tell us a little bit about what happened in this place. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, can you tell us what happened at Pushka Tirtha during the Satya Yuga?
Yeah, Satya Yuga happened in Satya Yuga long ago. So there was a humble Brahmana visiting holy places, and in his travels his intention actually was to go to Pushkar over in Rajasthan.
What's that? That's the Pushkar that's the Tirtha Stan to.
That's traditionally Brahma is worshipped there.
It's the only place he's worshipped, is it?
That's right. There's a leela about that, how Brahma had a problem, you know, keeping his wife happy, that he was doing the yagya, they were having a yagya and they were waiting for his wife, and the auspicious time was coming for the yagya, and his wife had not come, and Saraswati, she said, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming.
It's not uncommon to delay.
Yeah, you're married, you know about it. Brahma's waiting, the Brahmins are saying, where's your wife, where's your wife? You can't do the yagya without the wife. So then they said, now's the time, you got to do it now, where's your wife? She's not come. So they said, look, take this girl, she can be your wife. And so there's another woman there, Gayatri, and so she became the wife of Brahma. She sat there with Brahma. And they did the yagya. After the yagya is over, then Saraswati comes, the wife comes, the first wife comes, and she said, what? You couldn't wait for me? So that was it. Curse! I curse you, you know. Hell has no fury like the wrath of a woman, you know. So she gave a curse. She told him, you will only be worshipped in this Pushkar. So Pushkar, that's the people who want to worship Brahma traditionally should go there to Pushkar.
So how did Pushkar Tirtha appear here in Navadvip Dham?
Well, it's not that Pushkar Tirtha appeared here, that this is the original Pushkar. Right? Navadvip Dham is the holy place. It's the holy Dham. It's the Dham. And Pushkar's always here. And so that Pushkar over there in Rajasthan, that is like the expansion from this one Pushkar. The original Pushkar is here in Navadvip Dham. And this Brahmana who's traveling in the Satya Yuga, he came here to Navadvip.
Dividas.
Dividas, that's right. And he had a dream. And in the dream, he was told by an effulgent personality, look, just stay here in Navadvip Dham. Here in the Navadvip Dham, you'll get all wealth. Oh, he's a single man, no money, you know, just traveling around anywhere. So what kind of wealth he'd get, you know, he didn't really know, but certainly it was attractive. And he liked Navadvip Dham, the beauty of the Dham, the trees, nature, the lake. You know, it was very satisfying. He felt very comfortable, very peaceful here. So why not? I'll just stay here. So he stayed here a long time, and he got old. All of us, you know, we get old, right? We get old, and then can hardly walk. And then what happened was he had a dream.
He was still thinking about Pushkar in Rajasthan.
Right. His mind was still there, thinking that, you know, when I was young, I never completed my parikrama. I never got over there to Rajasthan, to Pushkar. So at that time, Tirtharaj Pushkar appears to him. And Tirtharaj tells him that you don't have to worry. You take your bath here in this lake, this Pushkar lake here. You take your bath here, and you get 1,000 times the benefit of taking bath there in Rajasthan. One bath here is equal to 1,000 baths over there. So you'd have to be a really stupid fellow not to take advantage of this place.
Or to leave Navadvip.
Yeah, if you leave Navadvip, then you're really a fool. He was told also that in the Kali Yuga, the Lord will come in this place and he will perform Sankirtan. Because in the Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is the Sankirtan, and the Supreme Lord himself will come from Goloka. And he will come here in this Navadvip Dham, and he will go everywhere and perform Sankirtan. And at that time, you will also take birth, and you can take part in his Sankirtan movement.
Dry. Navadvip Dham ki. The people in general, they don't know the glories of Navadvip Dham. They don't know that all the tirthas are present here in Navadvip Dham. What can we do about that?
Well, we have to popularize the parikrama. The more the parikrama goes out, the people come out on the parikrama, the more people will understand there's some very special holy places in this Dham. This is not just a tirtha. This is the Dham. The Lord resides here eternally. And so people should take advantage of the holy Dham. We have to show the example. People coming from all over the world taking part in the parikrama every year. Yeah. It's a great shock to the village people to see so many people, so many different nationalities, different countries, different kinds of people, all coming out of parikrama, young and old, women and children, and they're all out there on the parikrama. What is so special here? They're living here. Sometimes they don't see the glory of the holy Dham. So we have to preach, we have to teach. Teach by example, by doing the parikrama ourselves, and also preach. The Namhata preaching is going on very nicely everywhere, telling people, bringing people to the holy Dham. So more and more, gradually, people are beginning to know. It takes some time.
Shri Navadvip Dham Parikrama ki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. We've come to the forests of Naimisharanya here in Madhyadwip, and we'll discuss that shortly. But first of all, Maharaj, how did this island get the name Madhyadwip?
Yes, that's a nice pastime. In the Satya Yuga, the 7 sages, what we call the Saptarishis, sons of Brahma, they greatly pleased their father, and their father wanted to give them the greatest gift he could give them. He told them how in the Kali Yuga the Lord is going to incarnate in this Navadvip Dham, and he told them that if you go there to Navadvip, you can meditate there in Navadvip, meditate on the appearance of Lord Gauranga. So the Saptarishis, they came here to this place,
Madhyadwip.
this island, this Madhyadwip, and they were doing their meditation, meditating on the form of the Lord, and it happened that the Panchatattva all appeared. Lord Chaitanya, along with his associates, they came, and they appeared just at the midday. So that's how it got the name Madhyadwip. And when the Lord appeared, you know, of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very attractive. He had a beautiful Malika flower garland round his neck, and his dhotis folded in 3 places. His sandalwood paste is on his forehead. His body is effulgent like thousands of moons, suns. Suns, why moons? Suns, yeah? Brilliant effulgent. So they had kirtan with the Saptarishis. They enjoyed the chanting of the holy name. So this, from that time, this area became known as Madhyadwip. The Lord appeared at the midday.
So here in Madhyadwip, we're in the forest of Naimisharanya, and Sutta Goswami and the sages headed by Shonak Rishi were also assembled here, hearing Gaur Bhagavat. Could you explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, well, you come to this holy place. This is the place connected with Lord Gauranga. So you come into the Navadvip Dham, you want to hear about Lord Gauranga. We want to hear about the pastimes which took place here, how the Lord was traveling around here with his different devotees and performing Sankirtan. And the Lord is still here. The Lord resides here eternally, and his Sankirtan is going on eternally. The great Acharyas, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he could go out at night, he would see the Sankirtan party, he would meet with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the Dham, the Sankirtan is going on here eternally. It's very difficult to know Krishna from the Vedas. But from the devotee, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by the devotees, then we can hear the glories of the Lord. So Gaura Bhagavat was spoken here by Sutta Goswami. He's describing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his most merciful form, how he's giving everybody Christ of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this place, Naimisharanya, this is where Gaura Bhagavat is spoken.
We hear that Mahadev, the greatest of the devotees, was attracted, he was in Kailash and he was attracted to hearing the Gaur Bhagavat, the Gaura Katha here in Naimisharanya. And what happened? What happened?
Oh yes, this is, of course we have to see the temple there is the beautiful temple there of Hamsavahan. Lord Shiva's eager. He has that eagerness to hear. This very important quality in wanting to progress in Krishna consciousness. That we have to have that utsahan, that enthusiasm, the eagerness to hear the pastimes of the Lord. So Lord Shiva was eager to hear the pastimes, he wanted to hear Gaura Katha, but Lord Shiva's carrier is Nandi the bull. So you go on the bull, we see if you're stuck behind a bull on the road sometimes, you know, you have to be very patient because the bull's not going to go too fast.
In India?
Yeah. So Lord Shiva also was on Nandi. He was eager to hear. So he happened to be near Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma kindly said, look, you can take my swan. I can't come just now, I have other things to do. You go on my swan, you can go there quickly. My swan will carry you there, you can hear the Gaura Katha. And then you come back, you tell me everything you heard. So this is the enthusiasm of Lord Shiva, his eagerness to hear.
Maharaj, Nityananda Prabhu was describing to Jiva Goswami that the associates of Lord Shiva, the ghosts and the hobgoblins, they were overwhelmed with the hearing of the Gaur Bhagavat. Could you describe a little bit what happened?
Yeah, when they saw Lord Shiva, so much enthusiasm and so eager to hear the Gaura Katha, they also became enthused, and they also began to chant the holy name of Gauranga. And they were chanting, they were having kirtan, you know, very unusual ghosts, you know. The ghosts are also chanting the holy name, and they're relishing the nectar of Gauranga.
Yeah.
The holy name of Lord Chaitanya can appear even on the tongue of the ghost.
So when Lord Nityananda explained that, what was the response of Jiva Goswami?
Jiva Goswami, hearing all that, he was overwhelmed and he rolled on the ground. We often do that when we come on the Dham, right? We just fall on the ground. Roll in the dust, you know. Lord Jayapataka Maharaj used to always do it with us when we would come out on Parikrama, especially usually like Surabhi Kunj, when we go to Surabhi Kunj, because there was no temple there originally. Recently they built that big temple there, and he would get, you know, we'd go and roll in the dust. It's a part of Parikrama to take the dust of the Dham and put it, smear it on our body, take the dust on our head, because that dust of the Dham, that has so many, it has all the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, the Panchatattva. So many great devotees have all walked on the Dham, so the atoms from their lotus feet is there. So very important to get the dust of the Dham, and the special worship which they have, the local people, they have this type of flower which when you open it, it will pop, make a sound, right? And when it pops, it means your wish is granted. So all the local people, when they come for darshan, they offer this flower, and if it pops, then they feel very happy. So it happened that one time all the devotees were coming, they were all there, for all the ISKCON devotees had come. There's a big crowd of people there. They were all lined up, and everyone was getting a flower, but it wasn't popping. There was no sound. So people were worried. Nobody was getting their wish. But then it happened that Jayapataka Swami Maharaj came and he took one flower, and when he threw it, it popped. And everybody was, oh, so happy. They were so pleased.
So what was Maharaj's wish?
Maharaj's wish, well, he said he was asking Lord Shiva, is ISKCON going in the right direction? So that was granted by Lord Shiva. What was his actual wish? That he did not reveal.
So from this pastime, Maharaj, we can learn about the importance of hearing and being eager to hear, and going out of our way to seek association of the Vaishnavas and hear Bhagavad Katha, Gaura Katha in the association of Vaishnavas. Maharaj, we see that you are a very enthusiastic participant in the Navadvip Dham Parikrama. We see every year you're coming and you're doing the entire parikrama, and you're staying out with the devotees and camping out every night. How does that help you in your traveling and preaching service?
Well, I think it's a very important part of my year to come in the holy Dham and to go out on Parikrama and visit these different holy places, because it gives me it fills me with a lot of nectar. I have a lot of nectar from these different pilgrimages, coming, seeing the holy Dham and hearing the pastimes and being in the association of all the devotees. You say difficulties. I don't think there's so many difficulties. I think it's all pleasure. It's all nectar. Being in the holy Dham, it's a place of mercy, especially nowadays. Now, in the beginning, you know, we came out on the Parikrama, we were about 80 people, and the GBC all came out, and they all had their tents, and they were camping with us and everything. You know, Tamal Krishna Goswami and Shivaram Swami and everyone, they were all out with us, and they all stayed out every night. And we had no camp. We didn't have any of our own camps, and we would take bath in the pakors, the local pakors, you know. We'd go in there, take bath there. It was very interesting. Nowadays, you know, we have our own camp every night. We have purchased land and we've arranged our own camping places. Very nice, wonderful facilities, you know. Lokanath Swami says, he said, just like you have 5-star hotel, when you come on Parikrama, you have many stars. Right? The sky is full of stars. Better than 5-star hotel, many stars. So very, very nice association, different devotees coming, giving classes. Every night we have full program, we have questions and answers, then we have kirtan, then we have an evening lecture, one very senior sannyasi will come over and give a class. And the whole day is spent hearing and chanting. And the result of doing more hearing and chanting is it becomes easier to remember. And this is the mood on this island, Madhyadwip, right? Madhyadwip. This is the place of remembering. We want to remember. So we take part in these activities. It makes it so much easier for us to remember Krishna. You think about your pastime. Oh, I was in that, we went to that place. We went to see Hamsavahan. We saw Puskar. We took the water on our head. Maybe even you took a bath or some. When we go to Panchaveni, you could take bath there in the Bhagirati. So many things to remember. This makes this is the bliss of Krishna consciousness. It makes it so easy for us to remember Krishna. If you don't hear and chant, then very difficult to remember Krishna. But the more we do this hearing and chanting, and the more natural it is to hear and chant when we're out here on Parikrama in the holy places, seeing the places where all these different pastimes took place. You know, it's so wonderful. Everyone should come on Parikrama.
Sri Navadvip Dham Parikrama ki jai. Hare Krishna. Maharaj in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Navadvip Bhavataranga, he describes when he's here in Naimisharanya, he has a prayer, he's praying. Could you share with us what he prays?
Yes, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the Acharya in our line. He's teaching us how to pray, what we should pray for when we come in these holy places. So this place, Naimisharanya, we know that when the sages gathered here, it was the beginning of the Kali Yuga. They came to do sacrifice. There was 88,000 sages all coming to perform sacrifice to try to counteract the effects of the age of Kali. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prays also here in this Naimisharanya and Madhyadwip, he prays that the sages will take his hand and they will allow him to take the dust from their feet, and he can take that dust from their feet, take it on his head. He prays that he will also hear the glories of Lord Gauranga in this holy place. This holy place, Naimisharanya, the sages go there, they come here to this place to hear. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also prays, let my mind be absorbed in hearing. I want to hear the topics of Lord Gauranga, just as these sages are hearing constantly. And they're residing here eternally. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying that he can also hear what they're relishing. He wants to hear the topics of Lord Gauranga.
What's the appropriate attitude for a visitor to Navadvip Dham, a pilgrim coming to Navadvip Dham? What's the ideal attitude we should have when we're approaching Navadvip Dham?
Well, visiting Navadvip Dham, we want to have the association of devotees who can reveal the Dham to us. We want to have the mode of submission. Just like performing devotional service, what should be our mood in any kind of devotional service? So it begins with amanidvam adamvidvam, humility, pridelessness. That's very important primary qualification. Coming in the holy Dham, we want to be very respectful to the inhabitants of the Dham and to have the association of devotees who can guide us properly and reveal to us the different pastimes which take place here. These pastimes, of course, are described in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes how Lord Nityananda brought Jiva Goswami on Parikrama. So we want to have the mood to enter into the holy Dham, that we're entering into a very special world, a place which is very different from anywhere else on the map. Prabhupada used to say, you don't go to Vrindavan just by buying a ticket. And similarly, you don't enter into this holy Dham of Navadvip simply by purchasing the ticket, just simply by coming on the plane or the train or whatever means you come. We have to really open our hearts and our consciousness, and we want to really enter into the holy Dham, into the mood of Lord Chaitanya, and understand his pastimes and how the Lord so mercifully appeared in this Kali Yuga to perform the Sankirtan Leela.
Been residing in Mayapur quite an extensive period of time this year under the circumstances. Can you share with us some realizations you've had of your residence in Mayapur?
Well, I've been residing here because of the lockdown. Of course, I've been staying longer than I usually stay here. We're appreciating more the different seasons which are here in Mayapur. Usually I would only come in the winter time, so this year I've had much more experience of the various seasons which come. You know, the very intense summer season, very hot and humid, and then the rainy season, and like that. I think every couple of months there's a change in the seasons. So I'm experiencing some of the different moods which are there in the different seasons, how people, how the devotees' moods can change, the people's mood varies with the time of the year. So it helps me to have greater appreciation for the holy Dham and seeing the Dham in different conditions, to see the farmers planting and plowing, planting, then seeing them harvesting, all the different activities going on. But particularly seeing also Lord Chaitanya, seeing the deities, the Panchatattva, Radha Madhava Astasaki, and being in the association of devotees, that it's the very best place to discuss topics of Krishna. Having Bhagavatam class every day regularly with the devotees and going into the purports. It's a very nice experience with very senior devotees. You know, you don't usually get that opportunity anywhere else. It's very rare. Usually you're just alone with a lot of new devotees. But coming here in Mayapur, so many nice senior devotees, and it's wonderful to have their association and to hear Bhagavat classes from them. So many benefits of being in the holy Dham. So I'm so fortunate that I could be here during this lockdown.
We're fortunate to have you guide us to the island of Madhyadwip. Shall we go and take darshan of Hansha Bahan now?
Yes. Let's have the enthusiasm of Lord Shiva, right? Let's have his utsahan. Get our swans ready. Let's go on a swan. Go quick. Self-manifested deity.
Previously we hear that Hansha Bahan was kept in Gomati River, and now it's kept in the he's kept in the temple all the time.
Initially, temple was kept in, the deity was in Gomati River, was taken out once a year. So they did puja once a year. But there was some danger of the deity being stolen. It often happens around here. We know at Harihar Kshetra also, a deity was stolen there for some time. The deity was kept in the police station for a long time before we could get it back and reinstall it. So they brought the deity here and they made this construction. The local people themselves made this construction, and they have the deity worship 3 times. The carrier, the Vahan, Hamsa, and then Vahan. the swan carrier. And here is the wing, one wing of the swan. And you'll see on the other side also, here, that point, there's also the wing of the swan. And here is Lord Shiva. This is the head of Lord Shiva. It's the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. And two hands are folded across the chest. Parvati Devi is here, just on the side here. 2, 3. Hare Krishna. Just to remind everyone, Lord Shiva is Ashutosh, very easy to please. So everyone can make a request. Remember, it should be a spiritual request, and ask Lord Shiva for his blessings. Lord Shiva is very powerful. He can fulfill our desires. We pray that you will all desire a nice Krishna conscious blessing from Lord Shiva. Take advantage of this very precious opportunity in the darshan of Lord Shiva and with Hamsa Vahan, that we can request Lord Shiva kindly fulfill our desires for Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
In Sri Navadvip Dham, all of the holy tirthas and holy rivers are manifest. And here in Madhyadwip, we have the confluence of 5 rivers. Could you give us some detail on that, Maharaj?
Yeah, well, Ganga is a very great river. It comes a very long way. There's 5 rivers here. You've got Bhagirathi, the Ganga, and then you've got Mundakini, you've got Saraswati, the Alakanangi, and also Yamuna. Yeah, of course, Yamuna. So, 5 rivers. Take a bath there, and never take birth again in the material world. That's the benefit. There's a saying, never go to that place where you have no friend, or where there is no temple, or where there is no river. Rivers are very important, especially here in India, especially in Bengal. So fortunate, you have the best of rivers, the Ganga. And the Ganga, not only the Ganga, but you've got these other rivers also mixing there with them. So water is very powerful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared here in Mayapur Dham. He could enjoy, he spent 24 years, first 24 years of his manifest pastimes, bathing in the water, the holy water of the Ganga. and sporting with his associates, his devotees there, and taking advantage of the holy river which comes from the lotus feet of Lord Vamanadev, right? It's a Abhishek.
We thank His Holiness Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasingha Maharaj for accompanying us throughout the island of Madhyadwip, the island of remembrance, and for sharing with us such nice realizations on his own experiences of Navadvip Dham Parikrama and residence in Sri Mayapur. And we ask Maharaj to kindly bless our Parikrama participants that they can complete their Parikrama and their spiritual desires for serving Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada are fulfilled.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki, Navadvip Dham Parikrama ki, Jai, Gaur Premanande.
Tomorrow we'll be journeying to the island of Kola Deep. We look forward to your association then.
व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीत चौरं व्रजे प्रसिद्धं नवनीत चौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चतुकुलचौरं गोपाङ्गनानां चतुकुलचौरम् अनेकजन्मार्जित पाप चौरम् अनेकजन्मार्जित पाप चौरम् चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि चौराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि श्रीराधिकाया हृदयस्य चौरम्